So welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business, the podcast where each week I speak to a different business owner and find out the story behind their business journey and how they built their brand. So this week I'm here with Mike from Getgo studio. Welcome, Mike. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Why don't you tell us a bit more about Getgo?
Yeah, so Getgo is my new baby, really. It started in February this year, so February 2019. The first invoice is actually dated middle of March, so it's very, very young. I've actually been in business for about 7 years with my consultancy, which is Velocity Digital, which is a social media and content marketing consultancy. That's actually my background, has been for about 15 years now. So I studied marketing, worked in various marketing jobs, and then 7 years ago went out on my own, and I've been lucky enough to work with some brilliant brands on their social strategy. And that's all kind of what led to the creation of Getgo. So some of those clients were asking me to help out with video. I was saying to them, we need to be doing video.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we don't know where to start. And albeit I'm not an actual videographer or a camera operator, I thought, well, I know your brand, I know your business, so I can write this for you.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell into the sort of producer and director's role and loved it. We got some good results. And then I'd had quite a lot of success of doing little videos of myself on LinkedIn and social media. Started doing those about 6 years ago as well, to be honest. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give this a real go. So Velocity is still a very busy consultancy.
So you're still running that as well?
It's just me. And then I've got Getgo Studio, which is a whole different ballgame. So it's all go. Getgo's real purpose, it's out and out video production. And obviously I apply my marketing knowledge to that as well.
Yeah.
Everybody always says you should niche down in business. I'm struggling with that at the moment because we've had a lot of different jobs.
Yeah.
Getgo really offers three things. We do on location video. We've done a lot across the UK so far, so that'll be me getting a crew together. We'll travel, we'll film, we'll edit, we'll do all the production. And then in South Queensferry, just outside Edinburgh, we've got a physical studio where people come to do things like online course creation or interviews or pitch videos, or we've had a customer who just wanted to make some videos to raise his profile on LinkedIn. So we're offering something a bit different there.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that in the Central Belt. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist over the rest of Scotland from my research.
This is kind of like the hub for all that sort of stuff.
It's quite unique, but there's studios everywhere, don't get me wrong, but you tend to rent a space and turn up. Whereas this is, you come in, we look after you, we've helped you before you come in. I'll actually coach people through the day to make sure they perform well to get their content out. So that's the kind of unique aspect of it. And then the other level is the courses that I run. So I'm currently running Introduction to Business, not to Business, I keep saying that, Introduction to Business. I don't want to do that.
Don't want to do that.
I don't want to go anywhere near that, thanks very much. Introduction to Video, which the reason I did that was people are so scared of putting themselves in front of a camera, but they want to do it. So the course really gives people confidence and gives them some skills that they can take away. That all sounded like a massive plug right at the start, but I think it was important to hit everything up because I'm trying to make Getgo as accessible to as many people as possible.
Yeah, so it's kind of those three levels. Yeah. When you had the idea for Getgo, how long did it kind of take from that initial spark to actually launching it? Was that quite a quick process, or was it?
Probably 2 years overall.
Right, so it's always kind of in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I tried it in different ways. So Velocity Digital is the marketing consultancy, and I thought, well, do I just offer video through that? But then it was known for very much one thing, and that was social. And I thought, how do I start making an impact on the kind of video market through that? So I created an offshoot of it called Velocity Insight, because initially what I was going to do was I was hoping to do like business documentaries. I'd done one for Skyscanner where we went behind the scenes with their marketing team, and I loved that, and I thought that's what I want to focus on. But then I started hating the name. Paid someone to help me with the logo and everything, and their work was great, don't get me wrong, but I hated it. It felt too corporate. I kind of wanted to leave the Velocity thing behind. And then I was doing a couple of video jobs, and I was just thinking, what am I going to do with this? Because I just want a fresh start. And then I had an absolute nightmare with names.
It's a hard one, I think. So was there a lot on the run-in?
There was so much. It was called, like, it had a code name. It was Studio X for ages because I was actually wanting to tell a story from day one of the creation, and I did a lot of that through video.
Okay.
I've got numerous videos about how painful the naming process has been, because I'm a complete and utter nightmare. Yeah. I'm an impulsive person.
Yeah.
I'm never really happy with something. And it was just, there was so much, because it's in Queensferry, I thought, should it relate to that? Should it be the Three Bridges Studio? Terrible name. And the problem is, in this town, everybody's so proud of the bridges that a lot of the businesses are named after the bridges.
Oh, right, okay. So it's quite a crowded market already.
But then the long-term plan is that there'll be numerous Getgo studios.
Right, okay.
And if you name something too localised, then it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
So effectively what happened was I hummed and I hawed and I went back and forth and I scribbled and I ended up going to get help from somebody called Andy Johnson, who runs a company called Ado Studio, who I'd gotten to know through networking over the years. And I said to him, look, I'm at my wit's end. I need to get this out there.
Yeah.
Like this year. I'd signed up to move into this building last December.
Right, okay.
And that was a total punt because the space was incredible and I knew I needed to nail it down.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, there wasn't really much of a business.
Yeah, so kind of taking that leap so early must have been quite a scary one.
Exactly, it was, and I thought, I can't do this without a name. So Andy really helped me throughout the process. Getgo came about because, like I was saying at the start, I really want this to be a vessel for people to either get into video or take their video forward from where it is. So the kind of get going thing. And I just really liked the word because it's not actually necessarily a word. And but it's kind of like Google in a way that, you know, everybody say, you don't say I'm going to search the internet, you say I'm going to Google. I would love Getgo to be a verb eventually, but that'd be a big ask. But
that's
no,
I
think it's an applicable brand name. There's a lot of work to still go with the brand, and it kind of works. And folk will say to me, like, "Oh, let's get going," and all that, and it just works. So it was great work, and you know yourself, it's just it can be a super painful process.
Yeah. I think it is definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a hard one. So was the name, that was kind of the basis of your branding, was it the same guy who came up with the name that kind of helped you with logos and stuff like that?
So all the logos, all the visual identity stuff, it's quite a stark brand in the black and white aspect of it, but there are colours involved in it, so they've started to appear on the website.
Right, okay.
I'm going to be getting t-shirts designed that will show off the colour more a bit, and so that was just the actual colours it's like all the colours of the spectrum that our video's based on.
Ah, right, okay.
So it's quite nice. It has a meaning, but it's not necessarily that obvious.
Yeah, it's just kind of a nod to people who are in the know kind of pick it up.
Exactly. So Andy did all that stuff, and now it's just a case of, like, I only got the website live 2 weeks ago. Right. Nearly 6 months in, and it was just, again, that was my fault, because I wasn't spending the time just populating it and all that. Yeah. So it's now, it's so early, but I think there's a lot of places the brand can go. So for example, I'm going to get fully trained as a drone operator next year. Right, okay. I want there to be like Getgo Fly. Yeah. The courses I'm starting to maybe banner them under like Getgo Learn or something like that. So I think it's flexible, and I like that. Yeah, so it's kind of like that will be the basis for all these sort of wee offshoots. Will come from that. Exactly, yeah. So was building the brand, once you had the name, was that quite an easy process? Did that all kind of flow together quite easily? I think it did, because I was working with a pro on it. If I'd been doing it myself, it would have been a total disaster. Andy really understood me and understood what I was trying to achieve, which was that, and I just kind of trusted him to get on with it. In a way, I kind of felt like I'm cheating myself a wee bit. Maybe I'm cheating this. I should have just carried on and come up with the proper name myself and everything. Yeah. But yeah, it's been pretty plain sailing since, and it's had a good reaction. Yeah. Like my business cards, I've tried to make a bit of a statement with them. Yeah, they're cool. The viewers can't see them. Yeah, I'll take a picture before I go. Yeah. And I'll pop that up on Instagram and the. Yeah, but even like that. I like that with the 3 bridges. That one's the 3 bridges, and some people, when I hand them the card, they get it. Some times they ask what it is, and that's a great discussion point. Like, folk underestimate the power of a business card still.
Yeah, I think now people are kind of thinking it's an old, outdated sort of thing, but I don't think it is.
Nah.
It's having that just wee talking point, like you say.
Definitely.
It's kind of...
And it goes two ways for me. Like, if I get handed a really shabby business card that's been like one of these free print jobs online.
The Vistaprint.
Vistaprint.
The Vistaprint templates.
I know I shouldn't judge, and I'm not judging anybody or anything on it, but I think, it's so important when you hand something over that represents your business that it's a solid bit of thought gone into it, you know.
I think you want to be proud to hand something over. Yeah. You want something that you think, oh, that is cool. Like, rather than being sort of, oh, sorry about my business card kind of thing.
Totally. And that's where, like, cool. the design on the front, I said to Andy, I'd like a nod to the location and some of the stuff we do. And he went away and he came up with that. And that's a really nice little touch. And that's where someone like yourself can bring that bit of added value that a business owner might not think of, because you're just your head's so in the woods with money and
you've got
premises
a million other things going on. Yeah, I think sometimes just kind of taking that jump, and if you're struggling with something, just get someone else in.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it saves you so much time and so much money in the long run than like suffering.
I mean, I'm suffering right now because I'm running the two businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, Velocity Digital is not a big business by any means, but I've got clients who are ongoing clients, and that's brilliant because it's supporting me through the Getgo growth. But there's also a lot of Getgo stuff coming up over the summer. I'm travelling a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm at a point in time where I'm either going to have to hire somebody full time to help me with various things, or start outsourcing. A lot of things, because it's just getting a bit crazy. I've always had a really high capacity for work, so I'm on top of it and everything's getting delivered. But you know, last night I made a really stupid mistake. Last night I stayed up late watching this film about this guy, a true story about a guy who got stuck at the bottom of the North Sea, a diver. And then I just proceeded to dream all night that I was that guy. So I woke up on this Friday morning just like, oh man, I think I've had 2 hours of actual sleep because I was dreaming I was stuck at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh god.
And we've got a baby in the house as well. He's only 6 weeks old, which is brilliant, and he's been excellent. Like, he's so quiet and all, but it's just, if you don't get help, I think things can just come crashing down around you, and I need to learn that lesson.
Yeah, I think you can kind of go for so long and then it all just kind of piles up. So kind of on that note, were there any big mistakes that you kind of made when you were just starting out that actually ended up kind of improving things that you kind of learnt from?
I think with Getgo, there's not, I can put my hands up and say there's not been any major kind of tripping points so far. I think pricing's always really difficult. And because I'm effectively the producer and director, which makes it sound so grand, but I work with great talent that help with the filming and editing. So any job that Getgo does involves using other people who obviously they need paid as well. So I made mistakes of the first couple of jobs we did. They were quite expensive jobs, and I hadn't thought about the fact that I need to cash in early in order to pay these people, because those people are 50% up front. Just little things like that, just generally like, how do I price this, because I've never done it before. And other than pretending to be someone looking for a video job and emailing every other production company in the central belt of Scotland, which is a bit sly, how am I going to find out? Because nobody puts prices for stuff like that on a website because everything's so bespoke.
I suppose it's a hard thing to kind of price. A general price.
Brutal.
So how did you do that? Was it just kind of trial and error?
A bit of trial and error. I mean, I looked at what all the people I work with on a job needed, and then I looked at how I value my time. So say it was a day of pre-production planning needed for a job, then how would I kind of looked at my consultancy business and say, how would I charge that out for a day on my day rate? But I can't do that with video because I've not got the same level of experience, and that would be dishonest almost to do that. So it's been a bit of trial and error, but now I feel like I've got the process down. I've got very kind of good levels of pricing that I can apply to most jobs. I've got my quoting system all sorted out. So I think that's a teething issue more, as opposed to a big problem. But there's going to be big things coming. if an example would be we drove all the way down to Herefordshire to shoot an outdoor shoot in April, and this was completely out with our control. So we're in a hotel the night before. We woke up the next morning, and there's a horizontal blizzard.
Oh God!
So we had to cancel and come back up the road and then go back.
Yeah.
I didn't have a contingency in the contract for that.
Right, so you had to absorb that cost.
I had to absorb the cost of going back. Ouch, do you know what I mean? And it's also like 7 hours just to get there and then 7 hours to get back, because we have to drive everywhere, so we can't put the gear on planes.
Right, okay.
Some you can, but not. I mean, we take I've got a big car and it's full to the rafters when we're going. So things like that was just naivety, to be honest. I hadn't thought about the fact that, the weather might really screw this up, and it did. And they were totally understanding, but I can't then turn around and say you're going to have to pay for another day, you're going to have to pay for the travel again. So it's just these wee things. I made tons of mistakes with velocity over the years. So I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge to apply to Getgo.
That kind of gave you some idea. You kind of know what the kind of things that can go wrong.
Exactly, and you'll get this too. So because I've been in consultancy so long, I've seen a lot of businesses, how they operate, how they do things. So it's not just it's the experience I've gained from working with different companies that I can apply, which is really, really helpful. Yeah,
I think you find, even just from doing the few interviews I have, that everyone kind of has the same problems. Everyone kind of struggles with that pricing, like working themselves too hard, like you say, getting to that point. Everyone's kind of going through the same things.
Yeah, and I think that's why, the sort of community that you're a part of on Instagram, and I'm kind of becoming a part of, is really nice and supportive.
Yeah.
But it's also important to have that in a face-to-face way as well. So there's a few networking events I always attend, and I don't necessarily look at them as a way of bringing in business. I look at them as a kind of support network. Yeah. So sometimes there'll be a few of us standing there just going, oh my God, what a week I've just had. Oh, I know, tell me about it. And it's just good therapy.
Yeah, just the kind of people who get it, I think, people who understand.
Exactly. So don't be just hiding away online, getting out face to face. And a lot of people denounce networking these days, but I think it's, when you're a small business owner, particularly in the early stages, you just have to really, really surround yourself with the right people.
So do you find that social media, I know you're quite active on there, but do you not get as much kind of from that, sort of in terms of the networking with other businesses? And
I mean, LinkedIn's massive for me. You were talking about that before we started recording, and I've now met people through LinkedIn that I now have actual sort of face-to-face relationships with. But I think that the LinkedIn's good for the kind of deeper stuff, I would say. Yeah. Whereas I find that Instagram's a good way of people, I don't know, maybe you're just feeling a bit crap or something not working out, and somebody will comment on your post and say, oh, that looks great, and it just makes you feel a wee bit better, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's maybe more kind of friendship rather than actual good connections. Yeah. I think LinkedIn is probably better. Yeah, better for things like that.
That people have booked the courses because of Instagram, but nobody's ever going to book a £10,000 on location shoot through Instagram, I wouldn't say. Yeah, you just never know. And I think that's why a lot of people think I need to do everything. So they need to be everywhere on social, they need to be doing SEO, they need to be doing email marketing and all that. And everything has its place, but then when you try and do everything, ultimately you can't do it all well. So I've really focused on Instagram as a bit of a brand builder for Getgo, to be honest. Yeah. Whereas LinkedIn, I look at that as a means of driving real business, and it totally has.
Yeah, I suppose the big managers of these huge companies aren't really going to be hanging around on Instagram probably and making huge financial decisions based on a wee video they kind of see.
Yeah, they might see you there, but it's such a nice fluffy environment that they're probably not even engaged in that way. Whereas LinkedIn, I mean, that video I put out this week about the kind of jokey thing about this, what have I called it, the focus pod.
Your cardboard box in the corner.
Cardboard box in the corner has gone proper crazy on LinkedIn. Yeah. And I've had messages from people senior in business because of that, saying I'd like to chat to you about video production. Wow. So that's a parody video, it's a complete joke. I had a feeling it would go down well. But to be honest, stuff like that for me is quite a creative outlet. Yeah. I'm I had this empty box for a new sofa that's through in the studio. What can I do with this? And it worked. And that's going outside the norm that you tend to see on LinkedIn. It can be very serious, you know.
Yeah, see, I would think LinkedIn, I never really know what to post, but I would think it's more sort of serious, like articles, businessy stuff. But it just shows that things like that can work as well.
Totally. And folk will do videos, it'll be like 5 top tips for X, and I do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think when you do something a bit different, you know, some folk have commented saying, I wish there was more of this stuff on LinkedIn. So
yeah,
it's knowing the platforms and knowing how to operate them while not expecting miracles.
Yeah.
Whereas Instagram for me is a place where I'm pretty honest, where I'm always honest, but it's more just kind of like warts and all, sort of here's what I'm up to, or do you know what, it's so I'm doing nothing exciting this week, so I'm not doing it, I'm not posting. You know? I quite like that though, when you can be like, look what I'm doing today, and there's a photo of a spreadsheet, because it's like ultimately we've all got days like that, right?
Yeah, but I think people do like to see that, the kind of, even the boring behind the scenes bit of running a business. Usually I get loads of kind of people engaging on stuff like that, but it's like a really boring day.
Yeah, it's funny what really gets engagement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at LinkedIn, most people are posting, creating this picture of this incredible business that's easy to run, and I make so much money and everything. You just think it's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that glamorous.
Yeah.
But it's funny what some people would see as like a horrendous thing to do. So like next week I've got to fly to London and back in the same day just to go and do a recce of a location.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is really important because we can't just turn up on the day. I love days like that because it's just a bit different. Yeah. And also it means I get a couple hours peace while I'm on a plane. Yeah. Some people would think of stuff like that in business as just like, oh God, I can't believe I've got to do that. Whereas I always look at things like that as an opportunity, as a bit of a break from the norm. Yeah. But then if I made a video about that day, which I might try, most folk would probably be like, that's not that exciting. So it's, I don't know, it's just, I could honestly talk about social media and perceptions and everything for a whole show, but I know that's not what we're here to do today.
We can go into it, don't worry. Yeah, so obviously, as you mentioned, video can have like such a good effect on business. Yeah. So do you think that all business owners should kind of be trying to get that into their marketing strategy? Is it quite an important thing to consider?
I think at the small business level it's vitally important because if you can bring the people in the business, the owners of the business, the customers who use the business to the fore via video, then it's the most authentic way of doing it. Yeah. Here I am, this is the journey I'm on, or here's a delighted customer, here's some advice, tips, whatever it may be. I think it's really, really important and becoming more so still. A lot of the blockers come down to classic things like time. Yeah. I don't have the time, or I don't have the ideas. I've got nothing interesting to say, which is very rarely the truth.
You usually do.
You usually do, because everyone's experiences are different. Or I don't have the technical ability. Well, most folk now will shoot a lot of their stuff on their phone. Yeah. And it's perfectly fine to do that. Like the course that I put on is based on using your phone. Right. So yeah, I think folk have to get over the barriers and just get started. Some people, however, are never going to be comfortable in front of a camera. Yeah. And that means that your audience are probably feeling uncomfortable as well. Yeah. So in the early days, we all suck. I mean, it's so brutal to watch. Yeah. And then some people will get more comfortable over time, feel more confident, and that's great. I think if over a prolonged period of time, the person's just clearly uncomfortable and forcing it because someone told them you have to be doing video, it's not a good thing. Right. So at that point, it's kind of best to just stand back. Yeah. Unless that's doing great things for them as a person in their business. Yeah. By all means, carry on. But the reason I'm bringing that up is I think there's a lot of pressure in marketing and things like that. You have to be doing this. You need to be on Instagram. You need to be doing stories every day. You have to be making videos on LinkedIn. Not everything's going to suit everyone. Yeah. Not everything's going to suit your audience and your target market. I was creating some testimonials on the Getgo site last night, and I've got a couple of video testimonials, and I'm posting them. However, I'm going to do a written version as well because some people won't want to watch the video to find out what Getgo's customers think. So I think video is hugely powerful. It needs time and it needs a bit of thought to really go about and make it successful. Then the flip side of that is something like Instagram stories where yes, video is a part of that.
Yeah.
But it can very much be, I'm picking up my phone and I'm doing a wee bit of video right now, and it's rougher and readier, and some people like that. A lot of people will prefer that. And I think Instagram stories are a good entry point to starting to make your own videos, because it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and you've got that kind of security that will just disappear in 24 hours.
Well, there's that,
if it's really crap,
yeah,
no one will remember it in a day. So it's kind of easing you in,
that's
generally.
True. And I think folk are more used to seeing that kind of like, maybe not the best angle, or the sound's generally going to be terrible, for example. But yeah, I think video's hugely powerful. It's just a case of getting started, but also having an aim of it. What am I trying to achieve with this? Yeah. For me, like my IG stories and stuff like that, it's just pure brand, and I enjoy getting a bit of chat with folk. Whereas LinkedIn, if I make a video for LinkedIn, I want that to be seriously putting folk in the mindset of, I want to work with that guy.
Yeah. So is there a kind of best place to be using video? Is it sort of for your website, or is it more kind of social media based?
I think video is so flexible. So what we do, like, if we do an on-location shoot, we'll create what we call a hero version, which will be the longest version. Say it's 3 minutes. That will totally live on their website, the company's website. And of course, on some of the social platforms, you could use that 3 minutes, LinkedIn, Facebook, for example. But we create social media edits as well, so there'll be like a 60-second version that you can use in the feed on Instagram. So there's video can be used anywhere. It's just doing it in the right way. Yeah, and then
having the right content for the right platform, sort of thing.
Exactly. It's like IGTV. Yeah. Instagram have started really pushing that recently.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, if you think that's kind of a thing that people should be using.
It's so difficult because I've started putting on just my actually a couple of weeks ago I made 2 videos specifically for IGTV, so I shot them like full scale vertically, added captions and all that sort of stuff. That was more of a learning process for me to see how to do it, and a few folk watched it and it went down well. That one I was talking about earlier, the Focus Pod cardboard box kind of jokey thing, that's a wide shot video. I put the full version of it on IGTV yesterday or the day before, and it's done the best out of them all. Now, it's probably a better video, to be honest, but I think IGTV has a place, but it's just another thing for people to think about. Whereas I still think you'll probably get more out of a 60-second short snappy video just in your feed.
Yeah, I think it's quite good, because I actually watched that one you're talking about on your feed, and then you can kind of jump to the IGTV ones. Like, I think you can only get 60 seconds or something on the grid.
It'll do a preview in the grid, but then there's things you're meant to do with that to correct the size and all everything. But yeah, so because they only started that in the last couple of months, putting that in the grid, or in the other person's feed, and I think that's definitely it's a move by them to get more attention on IGTV. I think that it has a certain style to it, so the vertical style obviously I think suits it far better, but I don't know, it's something to dabble in, but I think people just need to start creating video at a more simplistic level before they start thinking, I need to do IGTV and I need to shoot it vertically. Just go old school, landscape, and just get into the way of doing things.
Something I never actually go on IGTV. It's literally just when it pops up on like people's grids, or maybe hop over, but it's never. I don't think it's really a big thing.
I don't think so, and I think that move of them putting it on the grid or in the feed is a kind of way of them trying to make more of it. But,
maybe not going down quite as well as I thought.
Nah, because there's a stat that came out the other week, and still the most engaged type of post on Instagram is a single image. It's way ahead of a carousel or a multiple image, a swipe it one, and video was the bottom.
Oh really?
So
I always thought, I think maybe is it on Facebook that they push videos more. I think video content always kind of hits more people's.
Their algorithm really pushes video, whereas I don't think IG does at all. I think they just kind of leave it. But then they're starting to push IGTV a bit more. Like that video, the box one, I think's had about 102 views on IGTV. And I'm like, I spent a lot of time mucking about with the preview images and everything. Is that actually worth it? It's not all about views, don't get me wrong, but what I like to think is like, I've put time into that. Is it worthwhile? Probably not. I don't know. And then obviously it's huge for quite a lot. It seems to work for some people, but yeah, I don't know. There's so much to think about.
Yeah, I think it's so overwhelming when you kind of hit people with this. Oh, you need to do all these social medias and video and images and every day. I think it can really overwhelm people.
It can, and that's one of the biggest problems I've faced through the consultancy over the years is people coming to me, some of them from big businesses, saying, we've started doing everything, Mike. We can't keep on top of it all. We don't actually know what's working. We're now panicking a bit. And it's because over the years, everybody's been like, I mean, if you go way back, you have to do Google ads. Right? You have to have email marketing. Okay. When I started on all this digital marketing stuff in 2007, when you basically had Google ads and email marketing and search engine optimization was a thing, but it was so gameable. It was just such a dark world. So I've kind of seen all these iterations. You must do this, you must do that, you must do this, you must do that. So I'm trying to be quite guarded with the video message to not make people feel like they have to do it. But if they do want to, Getgo can help on various levels. So, but it's completely overwhelming, especially if you're a small business, a new business. Everything's pretty overwhelming anyway. Like you're doing everything else. You're serving customers. You're trying to get new customers. You're doing your pricing. You're doing your branding. It can be a bit scary when all these marketing gurus and that are telling you do this, do that, do this, do that, or you go on LinkedIn and you see an ad, someone telling you, usually an American really excited guy telling you that I made $1 million in 3 days with this ad campaign, and you're just like, you didn't.
No, and I hate those, the big posts you see on Facebook. It's like, I'll get you £100,000 months in 5 months time. And like, it can make you feel so bad though if you're like, oh my god, I've just started and I'm not getting that.
Yeah, I've been through this thing recently, and I've unfollowed some people on Instagram and even on LinkedIn because anytime I saw this kind of distorted reality they were painting about their business, it made me feel really bad.
Yeah.
And social media has that horrible impact on people. Like I'm 37 and I didn't grow up with social media, but for a big part of my life it's been there. Whereas I know you're a lot younger than me, and even younger than that, it's now like such a massive impact on people's psychology and how they feel. And it's hard to not feel like you're not doing well enough because you see somebody who's I mean, it's the cars, always the cars, and I'm like, if a judge of how well someone's doing is their car, then come on.
But are you actually happy? Are you doing something that makes you happy?
Or I've got this massive Audi, but actually I can't afford to finance on it, and I'm potentially putting my family out in the street.
How much it's actually real?
No, but I need the car.
Just so people think I'm doing amazing.
Nothing wrong with folk who drive Audis, by the way. It was just the first example that popped into my head.
No, I find it on Instagram and stuff, when people going on about the hustle. I know you kind of... And it makes you feel terrible that like, oh, I'm taking a weekend off. Am I like a bad business person? Like, am I going to fail because I'm taking a weekend off and I'm not thinking about my business?
It's like, I don't know if you've seen Hustle Guy, my parody of the whole hustle culture, which, believe it or not, some people thought was real. Some people thought I had flipped when I started doing that. But that, again, that's a complete parody. That's a character, and that sort of thing's done really well for me on LinkedIn. A lot of people the first time I posted were like, how dare you attack the hustle? And like, it's all stems from Gary Vaynerchuk back in the day. And folk are like tagging Gary Vaynerchuk on LinkedIn saying, this guy's rinsing you. And I'm like, do you think he's going to care?
I don't.
Come on, seriously. I work damn hard. I know you do, I'm sure you do. And a lot of people that are listening to this will too. But I'm a dad of 3. I've got a lovely wife who needs my time, my kids need my time, I've got friends, I've got family. I've always managed to maintain a balance. At the moment, it's wavering a wee bit, but I'm still at home when I need to be at home, when I'm helping, and we're going on holiday in September and stuff. Just this thing that you have to grind yourself into the ground is utterly absurd.
I think it's quite dangerous, actually. I think it's quite like it's a horrible mindset to put into people's heads.
It kills people. Like, genuinely, folk either drive themselves so to distraction and that they're not feeling great mentally, that horrible things can happen.
Yeah.
Physically, it can affect you massively. This whole you only need 4 hours sleep if you're running a company nonsense. No, it's scientifically proven that has a massive effect on not only your health but your ability to do your job properly.
Yeah, because if you're just so overtired and so in it all the time, like you're not thinking clearly and you're not making good decisions. No chance.
And these people who kind of advocate that lifestyle, I'm like, actually, see if you did get even 6.5 hours sleep a night, you'd be working so much better, but you probably don't realise it.
Yeah.
And I've had particularly younger people who've started out in business questioning me when I'm saying don't do crazy stuff like that. Oh, but it works for so and so. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean you should be like that? They're a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
It's always Americans. Basically, it seems to be, and well, no, there's a lot of it here too, but they're in a completely different ballgame to you. And yeah, so in 2016, I took a break from this whole thing and I joined a startup as marketing director.
Okay.
So I'd been on my own in business for 5 years, and all of a sudden I was in a position where I had a job and I had a boss, albeit I just reported directly to the CEO, and I built a team and everything. It's a company called Administrate, and they're absolutely brilliant. So we all worked a 4-day week. So this was a company that had tons of venture capital investment.
Yeah.
We all only worked Monday to Thursday, and everybody got a Friday off. And I was all for well-being. It was for go and learn things, go and do other things you want. And they're one of the few companies that had that sort of mindset.
Yeah.
And that's starting to filter out now. It's this very Scandinavian sort of approach to things.
Yeah.
And even the CEO, he did it.
So he actually left on the Thursday as well.
And it was quite interesting because if your team wasn't up to date with your tasks and all the vital stuff, you weren't forced to, but the head of the team, i.e. me in this case, would make the decision, we're going to work Fridays until we've done this.
Yeah.
However, you had to communicate to the rest of the business, we're going to do 4 Fridays, we'll be finished this by then, and that's us. So you were held accountable for having people in on a Friday.
Right.
Instead of just, because some people would say, do you know what, I'm actually just going to do 5 days because it means I can get more done. But so I do really worry about what the generation that are coming up, going into business, going into jobs, this perception that it's just work. Go and see, go and live your life. I mean, you have to.
Like, you have to be obviously invested in your business, but there's so much more to life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when I leave and I go home, most of the time I'm not thinking, I try my hardest not to think about work. I kind of turned off my email notifications.
Yeah.
I didn't do them on weekends. I always take weekends off for like this whole year, I think, maybe. You need that to go out with your pals and just like chill out.
As long as you set that expectation with customers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be contactable after 6 o'clock.
No.
At the weekend, I will not be coming back to your emails. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's when you aren't communicating how you work to people, then problems arise.
Yeah.
I will, when I get through the door, usually about 6 o'clock, I just live 5 minutes from the studio. My phone goes on the top shelf in the kitchen, and I'll probably not be on it again until 9 o'clock at night. Once I spent some time with the kids, my wife got everything sorted that needs sorted. But I will go back on at night because I'm one of those people that if there's something needing dealt with, it's quite quick. I'd rather do it then than it maybe be on my mind all night. Yeah. But you're totally right. You need to take time, especially when you're young. Like, there's a world to see.
Yeah.
I've travelled a lot and. You know, it's crazy. There's a book called The Company of One. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've heard it. I've not read it, but I have.
The guy's name is Paul Jarvis, and he talks about how you can successfully run a company that will fulfill your kind of desires for your life as a one person who gets help with other things that we were talking about earlier. And without this pressure of you have to scale by having 10 people in a team and taking all this investment. And he just goes through this amazing process. He goes through how all the hustle thing's crazy. So I tweeted him a hustle guy video and he was like, oh my God, you've nailed it. You know? So yeah, check that one out. That's definitely one that just, it helps you think about how you're doing things. And if you are out on your own and you're keen to stay that way, it kind of validates that way of thinking for you. Because all the pressure is always, I had a lot of people in Velocity a few years ago. I hated it. It was really successful. But I hated it. some things changed. We lost a couple of contracts, just not through our fault of our own.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, literally one day we lost 3 contracts. We've been working on them 12 months, and they were like, great, we're now going to take this in-house.
Right.
And I was staring at a black hole of finance going, I can't pay everyone.
Yeah.
So that taught me a lot. And I'll have to scale with people at some point.
Yeah.
But I'll know how to do it now, and when the time is right.
Yeah, I think some businesses, like, you just don't need that. Like, I don't think I'll ever take on, like, kind of out, like, designers or anything like that for my design stuff. I think when you start doing that, if you don't need to, like, I don't want to be huge. I just want to be able to do what I love. And
well, for you, it's so much about you as well. It's your ideas, your concepts, your designs.
Yeah, letting that control go, I think, would be tough.
Yeah, how do you translate that into other people's work? But with Getgo, I'll probably hire an editor at some point.
Yeah.
I'll probably never hire an actual like videographer, camera operator, because if we've not got a job on, they're redundant.
Yeah.
So it's doing it when the time's right. If the time is ever right.
Yeah.
You've got to think, why am I doing this? What's the purpose of why I'm actually doing this in the first place?
Yeah.
Is it to have a big team of people around me and develop a team? Then that's a totally cool goal.
Go for it.
It's not going to suit everyone.
No, that's just not for me. Like having to kind of be somebody's boss, I don't think I can.
Yeah,
I don't think I can.
It's the hardest thing, especially when you're responsible for their. I mean, when you hire somebody as a full-time employee or a part-time employee, you are ultimately responsible for their life. Yeah,
for their families, for their children, for everyone. Like that's such a responsibility to kind of hold.
They get ill. You need to make sure they're looked after.
Yeah.
But you need someone else to do their job. Like the thing that really was amazing for me when I took that job for that year was I was getting paid to be on holiday.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
I know, that's the thing when you're self-employed that you don't really think about, like sick pay. Like you feel sick, you have to work through sometimes because you're not going to make money if you didn't.
When you're the employer, you've got to pay the people when they're not there.
Yeah.
You've got to pay maternity leave and all that, which is totally valid, and I'm all for that. Now you need to supply a pension, and it's just like the costs are unbelievable.
Yeah,
absolutely absurd.
People always think they'd be like, oh, I'd be such a great boss, a really nice boss, but I think the actual reality, I think it's such a hard job.
And the amount of employees that don't understand how expensive it is for them to be in that building, be part of that business. They're like, oh yeah, I'm on a 25 grand salary. There's another £7,000 or £8,000 a year of cost on top of that for an employer.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just it's something you have to be so careful with because you can just end up ruining yourself.
Yeah. So is that kind of the end goal for Getgo, to kind of build a team? And
I think it'll be a necessity. There'll be certain ways I'll go about it.
Yeah.
Right now, is it needed? Yes, but I really need someone who can help me across both businesses.
Yeah.
Would I feel comfortable taking on somebody full time right now and having that salary on top of the rent for the studio? Absolutely not. So I'm looking at ways of getting around that. My wife is self-employed as well, and obviously she's focused on the kids right now, but she can help out with certain things.
Right.
One of the biggest problems for me is writing proposals, so I'm getting a lot of interest at the moment. Absolutely brilliant, but proposals take a long time. Yeah. I've got some templates, but they're all very bespoke. It could be somewhere in the Edinburgh city centre. Well, there's basically no travel costs for that.
Yeah.
But this one in Reading that's coming up, huge travel costs. So I have to factor that into it. Do we need to hire any equipment locally? There's so much to it.
Yeah, it's not really a one size fits all kind of thing.
So that's something that the problem is you need someone with experience of that type of thing. You couldn't outsource that to a VA or something because they would just end up having to ask you 20 questions for each proposal, and you're as well sitting writing it.
Aye, it's not something you can kind of just let them get on with. It always needs your input. And
quite often, and you'll find this as well, if you're the kind of face of a business, most people want to deal with you at some level. Even though I will be the person who will write it and I'll be the person who's out on the job. Yeah. It's every part of the process, they want it to be someone, they want it to be you. So yes, it's a minefield.
Tough one.
Yeah, absolutely.
See what the future holds.
Totally, just do it at the right time for the right reasons.
No, that's good. So this is a wee section I call Check Them Out.
Yep.
So are there any businesses that you want to give a shout out to? Go ahead.
Definitely. These are all people that I've either kind of met through Instagram or have worked with. So one is Bring to the Party, who's your first guest, I believe.
Yes, Joe.
Joe,
We love Joe.
Yeah, Joe's. I just like Joe's really like positive attitude to everything, and occasionally she'll drop me a wee message on Instagram, and we'll have a wee kind of how you getting on, and fine. And she's coming on one of the courses, and I just like her approach to everything. And the fact that she's kind of new in business as well, I think it's a great wee story to follow.
Yeah. She's great.
She's brilliant, yeah. Another one is, so it's a company name, it's Solas Neon, and they are a neon sign producer in Edinburgh. Oh. So I want to get one made for here that's like a recording light, so it goes on when we're filming in the studio.
Yeah.
But I just love the guy's craft. He does really nice Instagram work, so definitely worth checking out. Another one is Greg, who is has worked with me on various Getgo projects now. We've become really good friends. His Instagram stories are some of the most creatively put together you'll ever see, so check that out. And then two ladies in Glasgow, their company is again brand new, called The Social Peach. They are social media managers, and I've just had good interactions with them over time. They're really engaged. They try and help everyone out. So check all of them out. Yeah,
definitely check all of them out.
Yeah.
So now all that's left is for you to plug yourself. So where can people find you? What have you got going on?
Yeah, I feel like I've done that a lot already, but
final plug.
Yeah, website's getgo.studio. Sometimes that confuses people, but that is the whole web address, which is cool. Connect with me personally on LinkedIn, that would be great, Mike McGrail, and Instagram, it's just Getgo Studio. Would love to see you there and see what you're up to. But yeah, it's just the courses are proving really popular. They're monthly, they're £99 to come along for the day. You get taught some basics of shooting, you get taught how to be confident in front of camera, why it's important, some editing skills, and it's in the studio, and it's quite a cool place to hang out. So yeah, it's all on the website, but yeah, I'll not sell anything more than that right now.
Come and see the good views of the bridges.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I'm thinking about putting signs down in the town for when all the tourists are here, like £10. Come and get a coffee and see you.
Start renting out your
get shut down for that, health and safety or something. But yeah, no, it's a great place to be, and one of the good things about the studio here is it's super accessible for the whole of Central Belt.
Yeah.
But the bridges are right there if you're coming north.
Yeah.
Dalmeny train station's just along the road. So yeah, it's working really well.
Perfect. Yeah, so definitely check all them out. Check the website out for details of the courses. And yeah, thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for giving me some insight into video. I'm going to need to go and get some
done now. Get going now.
No, thank you for listening to this episode, and join me next week for more interviews. Bye. If you want to be kept up to date on our newest episodes, or if you want to see what we've been talking about on each episode, be sure to follow us on all social medias on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook @Mind Your Business Podcast. See you in the next episode.